All right, so let's back to the track here. We were talking about the virtual store item, and we talked that this virtual store item is just a class, and we have a view to represent the virtual store item or the store item inside this virtual store item view. So if you open the virtual store item here inside the store menu here, you're just gonna get many things here. We have a thing called label, and this is just basically the label or the name of the item, which is here. Also, we got the item image, so every item in the side of the store got an image. Also, we have if the item is sold or not, so we have an image here associated with the item if this item is sold. And why this image is here and why this image is actually here, because once you purchase the item, we're just gonna turn or activate this image component, so we're just gonna say sold. And why it's here, because this item is above this item, so inside the canvas it must be below it. So that's why once this item is sold, we're just gonna toggle this flag to be sold like this. We have also equipped, so not all the item, we have many types of virtual store item. We have items that are equipped, so once the item is equipped, we're just going to show you equipped here, and equipped text to this game object. You can display it, the equipped is just basically a canvas component, and just got an image with an outline, a border, and also here we got a text. So once you equip this item, it's just gonna be equipped like that. Also here we got a visual buy button, which is basically the buy button here. So this is the buy label. So once you purchase the item, just gonna change the label here, the text. So if this item is purchasable with 7 coins, you're just gonna display 7 coins. Purchasable with money, you're just gonna display $2.99 and so forth. So this is the visual buy button that we use here. We got the level label, so in case you're talking about certain level, if you have upgradable items, we have something called level label. And also here we got purchased item. So if this item is purchased, we're just gonna show an icon here, toggle an icon that this item were or has been purchased. All right. And also here inside the purchase, just an image, normal image. We have here the amount, so the number of these items. So notice here, if we got, for example, 7 items of this kind, we're just gonna display 7 here, number 7, do a text label. Also, if we just continue, we have here overlay button. So this overlay button is used in order to click on the item at once. So instead of you click here, you can click on the overlay button, which is basically a button that cover the entire area of this virtual good item. So once you click anywhere here, just gonna execute a certain function. We got info, just a retransform, a toggle here. So inside this info, you could get the description of this item via info here. So once you click here, just gonna display the info. We have here, you can see this info, just an image, an up image, and you can see here we got a question mark. Once you click here, you can just get the description here. So we have also here description. So once you turn on the description, you're just gonna see it something like that. You could close the description. So here we have content of this description. We have here button, which is a close button, and here you have the description label. So once you click on this button, we're just gonna toggle the description on and so forth. This is basically the structure of the virtual store item. So if you go to the virtual store item here, you're just gonna see all the things here related to the virtual store item are represented by serialized fields. So here, for example, we got here, first thing, we got the name label. So we just have to drag and drop the name label here, the description, the amount label, the amount panel, and here the current level label. We have item image, we have sold image, we have purchased image, we have equipped image, and here we have visual by button label. We have upgrade button, we have upgrade button label, and we have also main button, which is the overlay button that we showed you here inside the VirtualStoreItem. So all these items are represented inside the script that we have here, VirtualStoreItem view. So we need to use this VirtualStoreItem view in order to represent the current game object with its properties, with its there's a link here between the view and between the representation or the data of the view, which comes from the store asset example here. So every asset example here must be represented inside the VirtualStoreItem. So if you go to the properties here of this VirtualStoreItem, you're just gonna see we got some image, the image path, which is used in order to represent the image associated with the image ID or the item ID of the product. Here we have also certain string to be removed from the market title. So once you work with Soomla APIs, we just gonna return certain JSON object, and this JSON object gonna have a certain string inside it. So we need to replace this string by using this string to remove from market title. We have also the by format, so we changed the text here. We changed this string into the actual number of coins. Here we have upgrade format, so we use this format, upgrade 0 to this amount number of coins. Here also we have a tag, so we have to use this tag in order to distinguish the VirtualStoreItems. So we use type of and get the name of that in order to get the tag. Here we have protected variables. We use here purchasable virtual item. So this is a purchasable virtual item, and comes from Soomla store. So we have to use this item inside the protected variables here. Also, we have other properties related to UI. Notice here all the fields here are serialized fields, as you can see here. Item image, the sold image, and so forth. Here the purchasable virtual item, we just get a public property for it. So once this purchasable item is changed, we're just gonna call a method here called on virtual good changed. So once we call this method here, we're just gonna if you come here, if you come here, we're just gonna call this method, and here we're just gonna call another method called update item data, and here we're just gonna change the sprite for the item sprite that we have in the current view. And here we have another method if this item has upgrades. If it's not, we're not gonna display upgrades. So if it has upgrades, not gonna be null. The store info get upgrade for it's not gonna be null. So we're just gonna display upgrade UI. If this item it can be and has been purchased once, like ads or any equipable product, we're just gonna display this ad as equipable, and else we're just gonna display this ad as sold. So we have to check here if this item is equipable virtual good. We're just gonna display this. If not, we're just gonna display this item as sold. Alright, so if we continue here, we have another if else statement. This else statement, we just checked here if this item is lifetime virtual good and is purchased, just gonna do something here. If not, we're just gonna display the buy button to the user to let him buy the virtual item. So if you go to the top here, we're just gonna continue. This is the property on state change of the item, and if you go and continue, we have here the item sprite, which is the image of the sprite. So here we try to load the image from the store, from the images folder inside resources. So if the item is single use back, we're just gonna get this sprite from the sprite path here. So we just passing this item as this item here. We just pass it as you can see here, item as single use back, and we just get the good item ID from it. So we here load the sprite, and we, in order to load the sprite, you could call this method, and inside this method we're just gonna get the product ID, which is basically the item ID. So here we get the image path, which is here. So this is the image path, images / products. So we're just gonna get this image path from there, and we just added the product ID. And after that, we return using we return the sprite by using the resources.load method. And here we give it the type of load. We're just gonna load the sprite with a selected image path here. Alright, and you can see here we use string the format in order to display the item ID here, and display the image path here. So we're looking for this image inside this resources path for the selected. We return this get sprite, and we just display it as a UI image here inside the item sprite. Alright, so we just got this here. If it's single use back, we're just gonna load this. If it's not a single use back, we're just gonna use something else here. We're just gonna get sprite at bath, and we're just gonna call this item as virtual currency back. We're just gonna pass the same thing. If this item is upgradable, we're just gonna go here and get the item ID. Remove the item ID last index of underscore. So what do we mean by this? Here, if item is upgrade virtual good, we have to load. We have to go to the item ID, which is the selected item here. Item ID, we just get the item, and we need to remove the underscore at the end of from it. And why is that? Because if we go here to the asset example, we have here something called durability life underscore duration. So we need to remove this underscore from here and get this ID. So that's why we have something similar to this here. So if we go here to, let me just go resources. Yeah, if you go to the resources here and you go to images and go products. Yeah, if you go products here, we have something, we have an image associated with that item, which is life durability here. So yeah, this is the life durability, and we need to remove the underscore from it to match the sprite path. So that's why we removed the last index here. So this is just to let you know why we have that. So if there's no sprite, we're just gonna get sprite path item as upgradable, get item ID. Alright, so this is basically if we don't have any sprite. Alright, so if we continue here, if we have no sprite, we're just gonna load the default sprite for the selected item ID. And if we connected here, we're talking about if a specific image doesn't exist, we try to load the generic image. So the generic image gonna be an image associated with the game object by default. So if we go continue here, we have another check here. We check if all of the above fails, there's no image to load. So we have to just log this in the console. We're not gonna change any image, we're just gonna return a sprite, and that's it. This sprite gonna be null here. So yeah, this is how you generate the sprite. If you continue with the next part, we have balance here, and it's just a property. Without, you could set the balance for the store item, we just can get it. So here we have get, we just return the item, the virtual good item. So here using return, and we're just gonna check if this item is virtual good. We're just gonna if this item is virtual, if this item is virtual good, and the item is single use, we're just gonna return the item to get balanced. Else, these two conditions are not satisfied, we're just gonna return amount of 0 for the balance of this item. Here we have another thing. If the item is purchased, we're just gonna return if the current balance is bigger than 0. So if the balance is bigger than 0, we're just gonna return true. So this means the item is purchased. Alright, we have to continue in the next part talking about the different things here, including the region for protected functions and what is their importance. So see you in the next part, guys. Thank you for watching.